Today, the world knows sushi as a symbol of refinement, a small, perfectly balanced piece of fish on rice, crafted by a master, a delicate work of art. But what if I told you that just 200 years ago, in the bustling streets of Edo, sushi was unrecognizable? It wasn't a luxury. It was fast food, and it was massive, easily 3 times its current size. Why did this giant meal shrink into the bite-sized perfection we know today? Let's peel back the layers of history and discover the surprising evolution of Japan's most famous dish. To understand the giant sushi of Edo, we must first go back over 1,000 years. Look at this. This was the original sushi. In ancient Japan, sushi wasn't a fresh meal. It was a method of survival called Narezushi. Raw fish was packed with salt and rice, then left to ferment for months, sometimes years. The rice was only there to ferment the fish. Once the process was complete, the sour, sticky rice was thrown away. For centuries, the heart of modern sushi was treated as mere waste. It was a 1,000-year cycle of disposal. But a revolution was brewing in the fast-paced world of Edo, one that would stop the waste and turn this discarded tool into the undeniable star of the show. Edo was the world's most crowded mega-city. Home to 1 million people, it was a city of workers, builders, merchants, and laborers who were always on the move. For these busy workers, time was money. They didn't have months to wait for fermentation. They needed a meal that was as fast as the city itself. This gave birth to Narezushi, or fast sushi. And the stage for this revolution was the yatai, traditional food stalls. By adding vinegar directly to the rice, the long wait was gone. Workers could now step up to a stall, grab a couple of pieces, and be back to work in minutes. Because it was a meal for physical laborers, these original nigiri were massive. Each piece was the size of a modern hamburger, packed with energy to fuel the city's growth. No formality, no waiting, just high-calorie, fast, and delicious energy. But this begs the question: how did this giant street food eventually shrink into the tiny, elegant art form we see today? In the late 1800s, during the Meiji era, a cool miracle happened. Ice. It allowed chefs to keep fish cold, moving away from curing with vinegar or soy sauce to enjoying the natural flavor of nama, fresh, raw fish. 1923. The Great Kanto earthquake devastated Tokyo. Countless sushi chefs lost their stalls and returned to their hometowns across Japan. Incredibly, this tragedy spread the Edomae style nationwide, turning a Tokyo local snack into Japan's national dish. Post-war Japan was in a food crisis, and restaurants were strictly banned. But chefs fought back with a clever loophole. If customers brought their own rice, the chefs weren't selling food, they were just providing a processing service. There was one strict rule: 10 pieces per cup of rice. To make this look like a satisfying meal, chefs had to shrink their giant portions. This forced diet is why the massive Edo-style sushi became the elegant, bite-sized pieces we love today. By the 1950s, new hygiene laws pushed sushi off the dusty streets. The beloved stalls vanished, and sushi moved indoors. This physical shift changed everything. It was no longer a quick snack, but a destination. Indoors, the white wooden counter became a stage. The chef, the itamae, was no longer just a cook, but a master performer. Sushi transcended food to become a global art form. In 1958, inspired by beer factories, Kaiten sushi was born. It reclaimed sushi for the common people, blending technology with tradition, from its origins as a fermented snack to a massive street food, and finally a sophisticated art form. Every single piece we enjoy today is the distillation of a 1,000-year history of survival. So, who is carrying the torch of this 1,000-year legacy today? Let me introduce you to the masters I've met, who continue to push the boundaries of sushi history. Kyobashi, Osaka, tucked away in a quiet alley, Hirakawa stands as a modern sanctuary. Stepping through the Noren, the bustle of the city fades into a dignified silence. The journey begins with seasonal appetizers served on exquisite artisan The centerpiece, aged tuna, where time itself has deepened the umami to its limit. And the white fish, delicately carved to release a sweetness that lingers on the palate. Each piece reaches its peak the moment it is served at the perfect body temperature. Connecting 1,000 years of history to the present moment. This is the true essence of the sushi experience.